The Toronto Raptors just made a signing that has some Raptors fans fired up. So we're going to break down the signing in this video, what it means for the rest of the roster, because as we indicated yesterday, the kind of moves Masai Ujiri was making was going to lead to some tough decisions. So we'll break it all down in this video, but before we do, folks, again, I think we're like 5 subscribers away from 34,000. So it would mean the world to me if you guys could hit that subscribe button so we can keep delivering you all of the latest Toronto Raptors news and hit that crazy milestone of 34,000 subscribers. But let's dive into what's been going on, because it feels like every day there's a new type of signing for the Toronto Raptors. Whether it's a main roster signing, a two-way deal, a 10-day contract, whatever it is, Masai Ujiri right now, he is out here cooking. He is out here making different moves, and now more moves ended up happening yesterday, which has some Toronto Raptors fans fired up, which we'll describe why. Basically, news came out from Shams The Athletic breaking down the Toronto Raptors are signing G League OKC Blue guard Jahmi'us Ramsey to a 10-day contract, and the Kings' former second rounder averaged 20.6 points per game, 7.8 rebounds, and 3.6 assists in the G League this season. So Jahmi'us is a very interesting player. He's a guy that, looking at his sort of player profile, again, another younger dude, 6'3", shooting guard, so playing the position that the Toronto Raptors are completely loaded at right now. 10-day contract, so probably I don't expect him to get a crazy opportunity. I don't know if this is going to be a long-term signing. We're going to break down the type of player that he is, but he is a shooting guard. He is an athlete. Now, this isn't the main reason people are fired up, because, again, some people are looking at this as maybe something that's a bit redundant, given how the roster's shaken out. But now with all the injuries to Bruce Brown, Scotty Barnes, and Jakob Poeltl, maybe we're going to be super depleted. It just makes sense to sign the best players possible. But, again, only 22 years old. Will be 23 in, this summer. Average in the NBA 3 points per game, 40.6% from the field and 27% behind the three-point line. Looking at his stats, over the course of his Sacramento Kings career, not a massive sample size, very small minutes per game, but could put up some buckets, could at least do some things at the NBA level. Wasn't Tony Snell's stat line, putting up stats when he was with the Sacramento Kings. But again, no breakout years, in 2020 or 2021, 2022 season, but definitely a guy that has a bit of NBA experience. But the reason why he got signed and the reason why he got picked up for the Toronto Raptors is because of his G League stats. And he's been a standout for the OKC Blue for the past couple seasons here now at this point. Basically, this season being his best year so far, averaging 22 points per game, as Shams alluded to, the 8 rebounds, the 4 assists, and these are the G League stats. Sometimes Shams doesn't put up the same stat numbers as the G League actual website, so I find that interesting. It's confused me on a few of these videos, but the interesting part has been his improvement shooting the basketball. Now, again, you can kind of look at it over the course of his career, and I guess in his 2021 season, only 4 games, so a small sample size there, shot 50%, but over the course of his career, his three-point shot has definitely improved to this season, where, again, on a decent sample size now in 18 games, shooting 42% from behind the three-point line. Now, in the NBA, we saw that three-point percentage be in the 26-27% range, but now it's up to 42% in the G League. Now, the free throw shooting is a little bit of a concern, because while his three-point percentages have been increasing, his free throw shooting has been going down, and usually free throw shooting, because again, it's 18 games is a pretty decent sample size, especially 22 last year. It's a good indicator in terms of improvement of a jump shot, but free throws, they're going to be the same whether you're playing high school basketball, NBA basketball, G League basketball, whatever it is, your free throw stuff is going to be the same. The closeouts in the NBA are going to be a little bit different. The defensive schemes, what you're going up against, your specific role could change and could affect how your three-point shot is going to go down on the big level. But frankly, free throws, I guess the bigger crowds might have a little bit of an effect, but really they should be staying the same. And the fact that free throws are going down is a bit of a concern, in terms of the development of the jump shot. Free throws are a good predictor in terms of whether or not a guy will be able to develop their jump shot into a place that's going to be really good in the NBA. So weird that that's sort of decreasing, but an athletic guard, I can slash, I can certainly get buckets, at that G League level, and, is scoring. It's hitting some threes. So an intriguing prospect. Again, we'll have to see if he actually gets on the court to really get hyped up about this sort of acquisition, 10-day deal. I think with Javon Freeman Liberty, I'd much rather him end up getting some run rather than, this kind of random 10-day sort of pickup. But again, Darko Rajovic will hopefully play the best players or the best young prospects. some of the best players are sitting out right now with Chris Boucher being out of the lineup. But why are Toronto Raptors fans fired up about this? Because obviously there's the little things. Another 10 days. This really makes sense. Another guy, it's a shooting guard. We have tons of these players. Well, the main reason was the repercussions of bringing in, JFL as a main sort of roster and bringing in, having another two-way guy in Mohamedou Gueye, having him as a two-way slot. The Raptors had to make another acquisition. And there was some speculation in my video yesterday that, hey, we'll convert Jonte Porter to a main roster spot. So, another two-way guy could stay on the roster, but that wasn't the case. The Raptors have officially waived Marquise Noel to open the two-way spot for Mohamedou Gueye and then gave this roster spot right now to Jahmi'us Ramsey. So, basically, the sacrifice player with all the moves that have happened over the past 2 days has been Marquise Noel, who is a guy that was a Raptors kind of fan favorite. People wanted to see him at least get some sort of opportunity, especially to close off this year. I'm not sure the base bar disappeared, but to close off this season, they wanted to see him get some sort of run, get some sort of opportunity to play with the Raptors main group. And unfortunately, it didn't end up being the case. In the G League, he put up some decent stats, putting up about 16 points per game in the G League, 37% from the three-point line. Was a really good facilitator at 8 assists per night, had 2 steals per game. Again, even though he's smaller, he used to be a pesky defender, in 11 games played and stuff. I mean, Marquise Noel, sure, he's 24. Sure, it would have been tough at 5'7" to really grow and develop into a player, but give him at least a little bit of run to end off this season. See how he looks. See if he can shock everyone. He's been shocking everyone his entire career. I mean, he had this post this summer saying that he'll be the greatest player to ever don a Toronto Raptors jersey, and he really didn't even get to don it. Raptors 905 jersey, but, it would have been a cool story, especially if the Raptors are, pursuing that sort of tank in the second half of the year. Marquise Noel could have been a fun storyline, a fun guy to watch, in the last sort of month and a half of the season. Again, even if he didn't get run, give him some of that sort of late minutes sort of opportunities. I don't know. And maybe, again, you want to see the best possible players. You want to run through things if you're a younger roster. And again, Jahmi'us Ramsey could potentially be a guy that is an interesting piece, could surprise everyone, might be, have a little bit more statures, putting up better stats in the G League is probably the better player, but I don't know. The story would have been awesome with Marquise Noel. So to see him get cut after the hype that was building up early on the season, then we didn't even get the payoff or even get to see if he would really work out on the floor. Obviously, the front office has seen it, but just as fans, see him don a Raptors jersey. It just it sucks for some Raptors fans. Some are really fired up about this. I'm kind of indifferent because I think it's probably the right move, but emotionally I think it sucks. But let me know what you guys think about all this in the comment section down below. Excited with this signing. The Masai Ujiri's done making moves here now at this point. The roster is completely overhauled from where it was even just a month ago. So crazy stuff is going on right now. So subscribe to the Raptors Side just if you want to stay up to date. I'm signing out. Cheers.